Hi everyone, Lisa Haven here, and I've got a mega update for you in regards to the coronavirus. Right now, here in the United States of America, there are currently 7,000 people under self-quarantine and being monitored by the United States government as people who could potentially have the coronavirus. Now, I bet you didn't hear that by the mainstream media. In fact, the mainstream media actually kind of briefly touched on it, saying thousands are under quarantine. However, the true numbers are hidden within the document at the very, very bottom of the article. Of course, mainstream media always kind of hides the truth. We'll take a look at this MSM article on CNBCnews.com. Thousands of Americans voluntarily self-quarantine after returning from China. It's up to the state and local health departments to decide how to manage their residents under self-quarantine. Thousands of travelers who have returned to the U.S. after recent trips to China are spending nearly half a month behind closed doors, under voluntarily self-quarantine, even though they do not pose any immediate coronavirus-related health risk to others. These are not people sick with the virus, the disease that caused the coronavirus. They have had no fever and no cough, and they aren't necessarily being tested for the virus. Now, let me just pause right there. First, the article starts with thousands of people instead of actually saying 7,000 people, which I'll get into in a moment. But it also says that they're not necessarily being tested for the virus. You mean we have thousands of people who haven't been tested, who have come back for China and just under self-quarantine? I wonder what that could do. But let's move on a little bit more to the actual numbers that they kind of hid at the bottom of the article. And here they are. 575 people in New York have been identified as medium risk and are basically under quarantine. The California Public Health Department said there are more than 5,400 such people in their state. Washington State reports 745 people have been asked to self-quarantine. Georgia health officials identified about 200 people. The Michigan Department of Health and Human Services said they had about 300 people. Virginia has 138, 27 people in Iowa, and North Dakota has 10. If you add all those numbers together, it is over 7,000 people here in the United States currently under quarantine. And they're not being tested, they're just being self-quarantined and monitored. You see? Now, these are people who have come back from China, and obviously they're taking precautions. I get it. But hey, there's nothing to worry about, right? Because China's giving us the real numbers. Wink, wink. If they were giving us the real numbers, right, then we wouldn't see this virus on these cruise ships quadruple and double in numbers. If they doubled in numbers like that on the cruise ship, shouldn't we see something similar in China? Just a thought. But hey, nothing to worry about. China's only sending in more incinerators. And don't worry, it's not for the bodies, it's just for the medical supplies. Take a look at this article here on OANnews.com. China deploys 40 incinerators to Wuhan amid the coronavirus outbreak. Something doesn't add up here. You see, they're telling us there's a little over 2,000 dead people, but wait, they need to keep bringing in more and more incinerators? And crematorists there at the funeral home are working 24/7, burning 100 bodies plus a day? Something doesn't add up here, Lucy. And I've done multiple reports on this. You see, those actual incinerators can handle 5 tons. 5 tons of material a day. And you're talking about 5 tons times 40? What's going on there? Well, I guess I'll leave that for you to decide. But we need to start asking some serious questions of China, like, if it's not really that, if even our U.S. government, if it's not really that serious, why all the quarantines? Why are we shutting down cities? Why are countries closing their border and not allowing, Russia right now isn't even allowing Chinese citizens in? There are multiple things happening. We're shutting down airlines going back and forth to there. People are under house arrest and being denied food, water, basics. They're running out of beds. But hey, it's just like, the normal flu. Not to mention, Over in China, if they say anything about the virus, well, they're threatened with their lives. Check this article out here on the epictimes.com. China regime deploys 1,600 online trolls to suppress information on coronavirus. Now, maybe they're not taking their lives. We don't really know. It's a communist regime. But what we do know is that people are going to jail and re-education camps when they say things that the Communist Party don't like. In fact, I've got information right now on Restricted Republic. I want you to go there, subscribe. It's only $1 for the first month. You can cancel whenever you want. There is no subscription required. Like, you can cancel whenever. So use the code DOLLAR. You don't plug that word in, you don't get the discount. But I am sharing additional footage and information there, and I've got a woman on there who just pleads her heart out and says, I'm sick and tired of the communist regime, because they're going to start wiping that material off of YouTube and other platforms, so I can't bring it here. But it's heart-wrenching. And we have to start asking the real questions. Why aren't they allowed to speak? Why the cause for the concern? Why are there 40 incinerators, and why are 7,000 people in the US under self-quarantine? Anyhow, please don't forget to check out my partner at hidewithlisa.com. I would not be on air if it wasn't for them. And in all honesty, I support them because of what they do. Hidewithlisa.com is a VPN, a virtual private network. If you want to go on the internet and look things up and you don't want the government or hackers or any DDoS attacks happening on your computer, this prevents that. It makes it harder for them to track what you do, what you look at, and what you say. And I'm in the business of, I want my privacy. If I want to look at rainbows or cars or whatever the heck I want to search and Google, it's none of their darn business. So check it out at hidewithlisa.com. And I believe there is a 30-day free trial, and it's 24% off. Anyhow, thanks again for tuning in. I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.